to Seven Rivers Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, we start looking into sports, wellness, and fitness, and introduce you to some guests that will be really inspiring to all of you each and every week. Well, this week, a look back at the career of Theresa Knutson, from a blue-gold athlete, multiple sport athlete, to a UConn Husky, Division I women's hockey. Whoa. How many Division I athletes do we have on this show? Not too many. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'll tell you, the 4 years at UConn just flew by. You were on the show as a senior talking about your student athlete experience as a blue gold. All of a sudden now, you've graduated in 4 years from UConn. Incredible how time has flown by for Theresa Knutson.
Yeah, it's been an exciting journey. It definitely went by way faster than I expected. Remember freshman year, all the seniors saying, it goes by super fast, like don't waste any moments. And I think in my 4 years, I really took advantage of everything there. It went by really quickly, but I think everything I did, I took full advantage of the time I had there, and it was a really good experience.
Before we went on the air, you shared some of that, and we'll talk about that throughout today's interview, but let's go back to the beginning of a student athlete. You grew up in a family of athletes. Yes. Mom and dad, good friends of mine, 2 brothers, excellent athletes. So there was a level of expectation, and you submerged yourself into youth athletics, and that was sort of the beginning.
Yes. Yeah, I played for the Alaska Tornadoes for youth hockey, and I played on a summer league team called like the Eau Claire Bucks, and through that I played with like boys mostly growing up, which I think helped me develop a lot because just the speed and the competition there was really challenging for me, so it allowed me to grow and develop to a level where I had to be so I could compete with them and just stay in the game. And they also were really supportive, and those guys never made me feel like I wasn't part of the team, and I think that's what allowed me to continue to grow love for the game, is that even though I was the only girl on the team, the guys treated me just like one of them, and I was able to be a part of the team and a part of the whole experience. And
then you became a blue-gold athlete.
Yeah.
High expectations there, both in the classroom and on the athletic field, on the court, but more, even perhaps more for you, because your father, the principal, the athletic director, and now the president of Catholic schools. I mean, there was pressure.
Yeah, I never really felt the pressure from my family. They always just wanted me to do my best, and they never put any expectations or limitations on my goals in life. So it allowed me to really just fight on my own and have the support of them. But it was definitely interesting having my dad as a principal, just because if kids got in trouble, I would feel a little awkward sometimes. Like, they were talking about my dad, and I would just be there. But it was awesome to also have my dad in the school, just because I'm really close with my dad, so it was nice to be able to go and visit him during the middle of the day sometimes.
Of course. Look back to when you were younger, and then through high school. Who really inspired you to the level of excellence that you have achieved?
Both my brothers definitely are my biggest role models. They always worked hard on the court, in the classroom, in the field, on the ice, and they always pushed me to be better than I ever thought I could be. Watching them play really made me want to be just like them, and hopefully carry on their name and the Knutson family name really well. So just looking up to them and seeing their hard work, I think that's just the most important part, is how hard my brothers worked when they were competing. It's something that I really aspire to be.
And they accomplished a great deal, and I've followed them even now that they've graduated and moved on. They certainly have left a legacy like you. Well, you were a multi-sport athlete: volleyball, watched you play volleyball, softball, and of course your gift was certainly in hockey, but you excelled in other sports too.
Yeah, volleyball was something that probably took the most work for me to actually become a good volleyball player. Coach Bree definitely pushed me to become the best volleyball player I could be, and my senior year I definitely got to play a lot more just because of the hard work that I put in and the amount that Coach Bree pushed me. And then softball, probably one of the most fun sports I've played. It's just really fun to be out on the field, and I definitely missed that a lot more than I thought I would. But those 4 years were a great time. We got to go to Florida, which was super exciting, and then hockey, of course, was just my passion. So love going on the ice every day.
Let's reflect back for a minute. This is something all of our viewers need to really absorb. This is incredible. Prep hockey at Onalaska, co-op, Onalaska Aquinas, second highest scoring player in national high school hockey with 286 goals and 394 points. 3 times All-State as a blue gold athlete. 3 times Wisconsin High School Offensive Player of the Year. Led Wisconsin in scoring each of her 4 years, freshman through senior. Wow. I mean, incredible. You played for Team Wisconsin. Certainly, you gathered a lot of attention throughout the country to play Division I. Take us back to that time when the recruiting letters started to come.
Yeah, it was definitely not as easy as I was hoping it would be. Being a Wisconsin hockey player, not as many coaches are super willing to take a chance on you because they don't see as highly in high school hockey for Wisconsin. But the coaches that took a chance on me, I definitely gave them my all. And I think what was important is that I stayed with my high school team. And I think that's something that needs to happen for high school hockey to grow in the state of Wisconsin, is for the athletes to stay in the program. But through that, I definitely talked to a lot of coaches, pretty much reached out to every D1 coach, all the D3 coaches, talked about what was happening, and ultimately it came down to the University of Connecticut because I love their whole athletic department. As I talked to them, I realized that women's athletics gets treated just as same as men's athletics, and through my 4 years there, it really was relevant that women athletes do get treated just as much the same as men athletes.
And we're going to talk about that. But so, after seeing all these letters, all these phone calls, all these visits, you pick a place called UConn in Storrs, Connecticut, about 90 miles from Boston, exactly 1,200 miles from Wisconsin, from La Crosse, Wisconsin. Way out east, you're thinking, oh my gosh, can I handle this transition? Now, it couldn't have been all great. It must have been a challenge initially as you arrived and you're that far from home.
Yeah, no, it was very difficult. Being such a close person with my family, it was really hard to leave them behind and go out to Storrs, Connecticut, which many people don't know. Storrs, Connecticut is probably one of the smallest university campuses. It's such a big school on a small campus. There's absolutely nothing to do in the city. But it was really hard to just adjust and realize I had to rely on myself. I had to be very independent, and it took a little bit for me to grow into that position. But I'm glad I made that choice because the 4 years I've definitely become very independent. But it was not easy at first because it's just hard leaving Wisconsin. La Crosse is such a fun place to be. It's such a happy place to be. And leaving that behind was difficult.
Well, from 500 students, I'm guessing at Aquinas, to 30,000 UConn students.
Yes.
I mean, it must have been initially, as you said, whoa, can I handle this? Yeah,
it was really a culture shock for sure. My mom always told me she wanted me to meet every single person on our campus. That did not happen, but I definitely met a lot of people, which was really fun for me because I love to make friends. I love to go out and just meet new people and have conversations. So being on a campus that big, I was definitely able to make friends and just be a talkative person, outgoing person, and it was definitely a lot different than going to a school with 300 kids and knowing every single person super well. But being on that big of a campus, you still see the same people every day. You still get really close to certain people. So it was still that same experience that I had in high school, but with a lot more people to be able to talk to.
And of course, you were a leader in the classroom, on the athletic field, also on the ice, and you were. The blue gold culture prepared you for what was the next chapter in your life. You were a leader at Aquinas, and then as you got accustomed and familiar and comfortable at UConn, you got involved in a variety of leadership groups, from Husky Sport to Team Impact, Pink the Rink, Northeast Hockey Clinics. I mean, you took advantage of those opportunities there too. Talk about that leadership opportunity.
Yeah, so we had Husky Sport and Husky Outreaches, where a bunch of student athletes go to the community, go do reading times, do different activities with the elementary schools in the area, and that's the same with Husky Sport, but it was out of not athletes, it was just the community base itself. And then team impact, we actually adopted a child onto our team, Ashley, so she's now a team member. She has a lot of illnesses, but she fights every day. She's one of the happiest people I've ever met. She's a really big inspiration for our team. And through that, I was on the board, and we got to meet her and help do different activities to make her feel a part of the team. And then Pink the Rink is like our biggest event of the year. We wear pink jerseys, we fundraise for breast cancer, and we go around to each dorm, knock on every door, and ask people to donate money for the cause. And we get a lot of money, actually, and then there's certain rooms that people are like mad at. It's just, but it's a really fun experience, and it's really good. It's a Hockey East thing that really exemplifies, I think, Pink the Rink.
Biggest takeaway from being in those leadership groups?
I think it's being able to understand who you're working with. Not everyone has the same path as you. Not everyone wants the same things in life as you do. So I think the most important thing I took away is being able to read people and really listen to what they want and be able to use my skills and my paths to be able to help them grow and achieve what they want to be and what they want to do.
Great experience. We're going to talk more about those experiences and kind of a look at your entire career when we come back right after these messages. We'll be back here with Seven Rivers Sports right after this.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, your comfort is our business.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports again. Today we're catching up with Theresa Knutson, from a Blue Gold to a UConn Husky Division I hockey player that just finished an outstanding career. The life of a D1 college student in any sport. I read an article recently the misconception that a lot of people have is that that it's the life of the rich and famous because you're treated with a sense of entitlement. But when you look at it down deep and you hear about the expectations from student athletes, it's a grueling experience, a grueling day, and not for just anybody to embark on.
Yeah, it's a lot harder than I think a lot of people think. I do agree that sometimes we get a lot more than other students get, but we also have these high expectations to live up to. Every single day, we have to live to the UConn name. If we make one mistake, that it can hurt our program, it can hurt our coaches, it can hurt our teammates, or it can hurt ourselves. So I think it's a lot of time and effort that was put into it. I just know every single day we would be at the rink, even though we're supposed to have days off, we'll still be at the rink. And I really enjoyed it, but just knowing if you didn't perform, you'd be getting yelled at. So I think being an athlete has its great sides, but it also has those sides where it's really emotionally and physically draining more than just going to classes.
So a lot of D1 athletes have said it's like a full-time job.
Yeah.
And the time management and managing workloads and so on is just incredible. And you wouldn't know it unless you were part of it. Talk about that. In blending together and creating new friendships and just spending so much time together. Reflect on that.
Yeah, so our team, we spent so much time together. We had a lot of classes together, and our practices for the first 3.5 years were in the middle of the day from 11 to 3. So we would wake up, we'd have to go to class, then we'd go to the rink, have practice, then we'd go back to class, just because that's the way the schedule worked. But through that all, we really grew a close-knit team because we'd all be in the classes together. We'd wake up early, we'd go to that, then we'd go to practice. We'd have to get lunch on our way there, or there's always snacks at the rink, and get lunch there. We'd talk, we had to get ready, and just through that, we were never apart because we spent the whole day together, whether there was class or practice. And then after our last classes, we'd usually go to the study area, which is called, it was CPIA for the first bit, and then it changed to SASP. But it was a study place for athletes to go to, and we'd all be there doing homework together, and we just push each other to make sure that we do our homework and we stay on top of things, because if one person falls behind, we all fall behind, and our team really believed in that, so we helped each other really stay on top of our classwork.
Certainly at the D1 level, in many programs they have class checkers. Class checkers meaning people that are hired to monitor your academic progress, making sure you go to class. That's what a class checker is all about. You read that too?
We didn't have the class checkers, the ones that actually came to class. The other sports did, and it would be fun to see when the people walk in and they can see that the athletes aren't there. But our coach really believed in us and trusted us enough to know that we're going to class, and we also always had a team GPA that was pretty well, so he knew that whether like kids were going to class or not, they were still getting high enough GPAs. So I think we had like our coaches check our GPAs and like our grades during the semester, and we had our academic advisor who really stayed on top of us to make sure we got the grades we needed, but we didn't have anyone that actually came to our classes and checked if we were there.
And of course you will submerge yourself in everything possible at UConn, including going to all the other games. Kind of excitement in the air now for Danny Hurley, who's the new coach on the men's side, and of course legendary coach Gino Ariema. You went to his games, you got to meet him. I mean, you just you enjoyed your college experience.
Yeah, it was really cool to be able to go to all the sporting events because every sport was taken very seriously there. Like our soccer program is a very highly ranked team, which was fun to go watch. I never really enjoyed soccer that much before I actually attended UConn, but now I love it. Going to the women's basketball games was a crazy atmosphere. It was always packed. There was so much excitement and enjoyment. I went to their 100th in a row win, and I've never seen so many people in a building. I remember a bunch of us were just like standing in this one little area because there was nowhere else to go. Men's basketball games were fun, and it'll be really exciting to have Coach Hurley a part of the UConn program now because I think he's going to be good for the program, help turn it around, and just overall the athletics at UConn is just a great atmosphere to be around.
Quick look at your career, by the way. As a freshman, you played in all 36 games. First career goal, Syracuse, October 19th. Whoa! Big moment for Theresa Knutson.
Yeah, it's one of my highlights of my life. It was really exciting. I had a crazy celebration. My teammates still like to joke about what I did after I scored. My celebration was a little much, but it was a really good time, and it kind of like made the whole experience worth it.
Absolutely. Sophomore year, 37 games, led the team in goals with 19, points with 28, and your sophomore year was great too.
Yeah, it was really fun. Our team had our first winning season in a while, so it was really good to be a part of that.
And your junior year, only played in 23 games. An injury happened to Theresa Knutson.
Yeah, I had a knee-on-knee hit with this girl from Merrimack, and I completely tore my MCL, so I was out for about 6 weeks, and that was pretty tough, but my trainer really helped me stay positive about it. I was not allowed to ask anymore if I was going to be able to play by the end of the season, so I just had to work as hard as I possibly could to be able to come back, and I was able to come back for the last weekend for playoffs, and I thought it was really good to come back and be able to play because it really made me realize how important the game was to me.
Senior season just finished. By the way, you played in a total of 136 games over 4 years, which also was 58 wins. Your senior season, you played in all 39 games. Second in team goals, you eclipsed the 50-goal mark for your career. Third player in program history. 17 years of UConn hockey to accomplish that goal. Wow. And when you look back at it, I talked to your coach, Coach McKenzie, said you were an offensive threat, you were intimidating with the stick, and ask her about the cape, he said too.
So this year we had hockey night in stores, so it's like first night for basketball, but we did it with hockey, and I decided to wear a UConn flag as a cape for the event. And after that, I just kept wearing capes to the games and to practices, and Coach wasn't always thrilled that I was wearing it, but it was definitely something that I think helped lighten up the team a little bit, and it was something I really personally enjoyed wearing because I just think hockey is such an amazing sport that I just, yeah.
Well, you were amazing throughout your career. And so you graduate in 4 years, sports management, and now this is really exciting news to share with all of you. First time anyone has heard this. You graduate in 4 years, which again I'm impressed with. And now you're ready to jump to the next chapter in your life, not in sports management, but playing professional hockey in Germany. Give us a quick little overview of that.
Yes, I'm going to be playing in Mannheim in the German Women's Hockey League, and it's professional. I'll be able to travel all over Europe. I'm going to have a good amount of expenses paid for, so I'm really excited to be able to play professionally as well as play in Germany and be able to explore and understand their culture.
You get to one of my favorite spots, Italy, I can tell you that, and I've been there a few times, and only 2 foreign players on each of those teams, so how were you selected?
It's kind of like the college process all over again. You have to reach out to them, they reach out to you, and it's just a bunch of emailing back and forth. They watch some film on me, and overall I picked this team because I really wanted to play in Germany, and it was a great opportunity. It's right outside of Frankfurt, which is one of the best airports internationally, so I'll be able to travel super easily, and I'm just really excited to be a part of that.
And your family will probably come over.
Yes, they're excited for me.
Rapid fire drill. Describe leadership.
Leadership is being strong and confident in the choices you make while making sure everyone on the team is happy with what you're doing.
What's something that our viewers may not know about Theresa Knutson?
I always bring a stuffed animal tiger with me anytime I'm not at home because it reminds me of home.
And your favorite saying?
One of them is, I'd rather miss high than score low, and I'm sure my coach is going to be happy with that one. And otherwise, our coach said this year, it's always been us, and I think that's just something that from now on I'm going to take with me because it was such an important part, this team I had this past year, that it's always been us and it always will be us.
So on to Germany in the fall.
Yes.
And this summer some part-time employment, but and a major in sports management. Take us 5, 10, 15 years down the line. What's Theresa Knutson going to be doing?
I either hope to be coaching hockey at the college level or following in my dad's footsteps and becoming an athletic director while being able to coach high school athletics and hopefully becoming an executive director of the National Federation of High School Sports.
Whatever you decide to do, you will be a success, my friend.
Thank you.
First got to know her when she was in my class, leadership class at Aquinas, and stayed in contact with her ever since. We're proud of you, and it's been a pleasure to have you on our show. Thank you, Theresa.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back with some closing thoughts right after this.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team.
Who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Your comfort is our business.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. I hope you enjoyed the interview with Theresa Knutson. What a success story she has become, taking now her skills to Europe to showcase the talent that she has in girls hockey. Well, plenty of activities to take advantage of here in this beautiful area that we live in the Cooley region in the upcoming months. Biking, hiking, road races, water sports, music in the park, all great things to get involved with here in the La Crosse area. Coming up next week on July 4th, the Firecracker 4-mile race to benefit the La Crosse Autism Foundation as well as the Children's Museum. I hope you attend that event. We continue to look for ways to improve the show, broaden our guests, look at different topics. If you have a thought, please contact us here at the studio. Check your local listings as we continue to bring you 2 shows each week on Thursday and Sunday nights, and that is Knights of Thunder Racing. Thanks for joining us this week. I'm your host, Terry Erickson, hoping that you will have an active and a healthy week.